TIU men's soccer kicks off the 2015 season here tomorrow afternoon as Missouri Baptist comes to Chardner Field. Down the road this weekend, you've got Concordia, Michigan also coming to face the Trojans here with head coach Patrick Gilliam. Coach, has been a long preseason for the guys team. A couple scrimmages early on, but now you're getting ready for the real thing here. Give us some of your thoughts about what you've seen in the preseason from this team.
Yeah, I think the guys have had an excellent preseason, really, and as you mentioned, Greg, it's been hard because it's been kind of stretched out, you know, not incredibly long or too long without a match, but you get to the beginning of September, which we're now at, and you've only faced scrimmage competition or your own team, and you're ready to see a real match, you know, and you're ready to see another opponent, a game that counts in the standings. And you can kind of tell. Yesterday I began practice and I just said, hey, it's game week, and a big cheer goes up because, you know, they're just finally ready to play. And I think even the closeness of the two programs, they've got to watch the women play two real matches, and so but just with our offset schedules so that I can be at every match, a lot of times this happens, one team starts earlier than the other. But they're ready to go. I've been proud of their effort, their focus. I think if anything is hard about a longer preseason, you know, you really think we kind of started training on August 12th, and it's going to be September 2nd before we play a game that counts. I mean, it's hard with 18, 19, 20-year-old young people to sometimes keep them focused and on task, and I would say overall I think they've done a great job. We've had very few training sessions, you know, I call them clunkers, where just like the wheels fell off and that the attention span and the focus wasn't there. There's things to work on still, but I do believe that the guys have really given us a good 2.5, 3 weeks. The scrimmages were really helpful. The scrimmage against CLC, until late in the game we had a shutout, looked pretty strong defensively. Not just scored 2 goals, but created chances. Scoring's been our issue a little bit in the last few years, but we created a lot of chances. The Wheaton scrimmage was just outstanding because playing such a top quality opponent, you know, the Division III national runner-up last year, 90 minutes, lost 2-0. 2 really nice goals, goals that we talked about how we could prevent, but at the end of the day they were wonderful finishes, so they weren't just shredding us, walking through us, and I thought we dealt well with their pressure and the speed of play. The speed of play was incredible, and so a speed of play that we're going to see from teams in the CCAC, but the top teams, the really strong, historically elite teams, and so I think it was a great tool for us, and it demonstrated too that I think you know, that we can create some chances, and that defensively we look pretty solid going into the season. So excited to get going tomorrow, and Missouri Baptist coming to town.
Looking at the roster this year, 9 guys come back to the team who started 10 or more matches a year ago. So you've got a good core group coming back. Anyone in that group that kind of stands out to you in the preseason, and also any of the newcomers that have really made a big impact already?
Yeah, I mean, I think our back line has been something that we have been pleased with. You know, just I feel like our organization is good, and 2 returners are in the back line. In the center of the back line would be Zach Miller and Noah Smith, and they worked very well together. Both went to Costa Rica, and so got some time down there together and saw the cohesiveness build. Good vocal leaders, both team captains. They're our team captains, and so to have your team captains at the center back, I think is helpful, and hardworking. Both came in great shape, disciplined, have really soaked up some of the things we've tried to give them, and so I think you know, we're hearing more and more these days that, you know, a quality soccer team is kind of, you try to build it around your center backs, you know, so that you're stable defensively and you're organized and you're compact and cohesive, and those guys I think have done an excellent job. I think I'm real proud of some of our returners. It's not even that I would name them specifically by name, but we have a group of guys that maybe saw limited to middle road minutes, if that, last year, that have raised their game, and so I see them being able to be stronger contributors this year just because they weren't satisfied with the small amount of minutes they had, or didn't rest on their laurels that they're going to be juniors or seniors, but went out this summer and bettered themselves. And so I think even in addition to those guys that saw saw the 10 or more games last year, I think even some of our guys that saw lesser minutes than that improved themselves. So the returners were very committed in staying and being involved heavily in the winter and the spring, and I think bettered themselves this summer. In regard to new players, yeah, we've got you know, a number of people who I think can contribute. Peter Cooey is a guy who's been playing at the holding mid for us and has done a really nice job, and he's a transfer. Jordan Dano, another transfer, playing out wide on the flank. TJ Cake is a freshman from Ohio. He's in the midfield, and then we've seen Christian Street in the back. He's been playing left back for us and has worked well with Noah and Zach. And then we have a young man, Zach Seamail, another transfer that has not been able to play in the scrimmages yet. He got injured very early in camp, but is now cleared and ready to go. And I think he gives us a goal-scoring presence that will be a great addition as well.
Trojans take on the Spartans Saturday. Tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Concordia comes in Saturday at 5. Coach, thanks.
Thank you, Greg.